What it do, baby? It's your boy Pow Wow, sipping on a white cloud, sucking on a ring pow out here at the podcast party. Give it up for the podcast for the evening. We got LA Meekly, Shenk, and Jeremiah Watkins. And now I just want to give a quick shout out to your host. It's the how do I say this?
It's pronounced Jardinera.
Okay, thank you. Give it up for your host, Jardinera.
Well, today I'm going to make a homemade Jardinera. Jardinera.
My name's Jar.
Jardinera.
None of these mics work. We don't need mics. Yes.
My name is Zanera,
I'm Matt.
and we are Jardinera, and this is Podcast Party, a show where three podcasts form 15-minute sets of those existing podcasts, and we wrap it all up into one giant podcast party.
Right. Yeah, it's like a comedy show, but with podcasts. It's like a comedy show because we're not funny.
It is. And guys, remember this is a say what you can theater, so don't be afraid to say what you can. Like if you want to say that Will looks like an idiot, feel free to.
I guess, but this isn't a say what you can theater. It's pay what you can.
Pay what you can? Oh, you mean like people should put money in the jar or Venmo Pack theater?
Yeah, sure.
Who was that guy that charged me $20 to get in?
Guess he was just saying what he can. Anyways, all right, yeah, we gotta move off the show. We gotta thank our sponsor for the
Yeah, guys, it's ad time.
Yeah, it's ad time. Hey, the podcast party is brought to you by the People's Cheese, the only cheese made from 100% human breast milk. Because cows don't like when you touch their udders, they don't give you consent for that. But our human employees do, for minimum wage. And there should be accompanying pictures here.
Next slide.
Yeah, you know the cows. There it is. The People's Cheese. It's consensual.
Yeah, that's I don't know, that's not our ad for the month.
Let's see the next slide. Pretty good. There you go.
Yeah, that's our ad for the month though. We're sponsored by White Claws and Ring Pops.
Oh, right. Oh, I'm not wearing my ring pop. I gotta get that going. Yeah, what do you think, Matt? You're not, what do you think?
You know, I love the White Claws, I'm a big fan. I'm not a big fan of the ring pop though, I gotta say. I don't think
What's wrong? You don't like the flavor or?
flavor.
Yeah, you don't have a White Claw. Are you not drinking? Do you not have a Ring Pop on?
No, I'm wearing a ring pop right now, yeah.
You like swallow it or something?
No. Oh, ring pop. That makes so much ring pop. I thought they were butt plugs. The shape is very misleading, Sorry I walked in front.
That's probably good. Alright, let's we should get to the sponsor for the month. Guys, it's drink time. Raise your hand if you want a White Claw. I'm passing out.
Yeah, I want a White Claw. Or if you want some ring pops.
I will be everything you want.
Yeah. Shit. Your ass in a comfortable state, ain't you, dog?
We should get on with the show, right?
Yeah.
You guys can cut the song, thank you. Coming up first, we've got Jeremiah Watkins. He just had one of the top comedy albums, maybe the top, I think, comedy album with Reagan and Watkins on iTunes. He does stand-up and stuff all over the place. He's got a great podcast. He's got this complicated setup. Give it up for Jeremiah Wonder.
Yes! Welcome to Jeremiah Watkins. How's everybody doing, guys? This is very exciting. This is a very live show right now, the first Jeremiah Wonders, and I actually have a very special surprise guest I'm going to bring out to you guys right now. Please welcome my pal. He's the regular on Kill Tony. He is one of the 10 wonders of the world. Please welcome my pal, William Montgomery, to the stage, everybody. Come on.
It is so nice to be here. It's actually the anniversary of my middle brother Vance's death. He died in a volcano incident in Indiana. There was a gas station called Mr. Volcano's He was an actor in not only Jumanji, he was in Earbud, and he was also in Kangaroo Jack.
Did you say Jumanji?
Jumanji?
Yeah.
He was the main character in Jumanji. It's the anniversary of his death. I have been taking coughing medicine all day. I'm trying to soften the blows.
What kind of cough medicine have you been taking?
Quercetin.
Come again?
Quercetin, you can take about 5 of the pills. It makes you feel like you're in Disneyland.
That's awesome.
Space Mountain.
William, how you been, man? It's been a minute since we've got to catch up. You know, this audience doesn't know you. I feel like this is a new hairdo that you're rocking.
Yeah, I've been pretty good. If y'all don't know me, I work at a La Quinta in Scottsdale. I sell Xanax bars out in 217. I actually went to a Supercuts yesterday. I'm normally a balding redheaded person. I told the older Hispanic lady I wanted
Supercuts.
Told her I wanted something special.
I guess they bought some ad space on the show.
They did let's give it up for Supercuts, y'all.
Supercuts. That's cool.
It was really fun. I was in the
Did they do anything with that beard?
They didn't. They just did a lot with my hair. The lady told me to shut my eyes and hold still and don't talk. I was with her.
Hold still and don't talk, baby. I'm gonna cut your hair, Supercuts.
And I was just like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? My brother's death date is
bitch.
My brother dies tomorrow. You're really gonna start calling me that? I need a nice
the future to tell me your brother's about to die.
Vance is gonna die in a volcano accident. I'm worried about him.
Okay, well, I'll just take a little bit off the top on it. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to, you are a paying customer. So, I guess, you still want your number 2 on the sides like you usually do.
Can I get a number 2 on the sides and a number 3 on the top?
Yeah, we can do that. But I got an idea. What if we put you in a colonial kind of getup? What if you look like a living commercial for Sam Adams? Can we do that, baby? Because I would love to make you have that boot fall in the front. Come on.
Is that cool if you do that? I mean, I'm worried about tomorrow.
I think your brother's gonna love it.
Cool, thank you so much. How long do I have to sit in this chair?
It's gonna be a solid 18 hours because we got a lot of work to do.
Let's fast forward maybe a couple slow motion scenes, me in the chair, MIA paper planes playing, just me with my eyes shut and just opening them, seeing this haircut, just saying, oh my God, my brother was in Kangaroo Jack. I don't know where he fucking is now. What did you do with my hair? My mom loves my red hair. Why did you give me this colonial look?
Well, honestly, I told you the news about your dead brother, and your hair actually turned white. I think you were a colonial redheaded wig, it was fierce, girl. But then, I told you about your dead brother that you told me about 18 hours ago, and you're like, oh, hell no. White.
Not a lot of people know this about me. I'm a big Monopoly guy. And it's weird, you're talking like I used to be.
Monopoly, do not pass go, do not collect $200 on this brother. I guess Monopoly also bought some ad space.
They did. I don't know if y'all have familiar with. Let's give it up for my uncle. Just got in here.
Give it up for William's uncle, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought you had Lyme's disease. Nice to see you, Uncle Lance.
By the way, I love my intro for Jeremiah Wonders. He may have had a top comedy album, and he has a very complicated setup. Give it up for Jeremiah Watkins. Nothing gets the crowd roaring like a period piece, yes, coming up to the show.
I'll just be quite frank, I've been having a really good time in LA. I'm originally from Hawaii, the Big Island. I was a big surfer at one point in time. I just found out about the new Little Mermaid movie, and I think my best joke is just picture me saying on stage, "You want to take a box? I got 20. That is the Black Little Mermaid. What I'm worried about is just literally with the Black Little Mermaid now, I don't.
Are you shaming yourself for the joke you just made, William?
I am. I'm sorry, y'all.
And you said, imagine I'm on a stage. We're on a stage right now. This is happening.
I am so sorry.
You look, whenever you freeze like that, you look like a wanted poster from the 1700s. It's pretty great. Now, William, have you gotten into any extracurricular activities lately? Because, you know, you're a very busy stand-up comedian doing comedy around the country. What's something that you have recently gotten into? I noticed that you brought some Sprite with you tonight. Now, is that actually Sprite in that bottle? Because it looked like a dark yellow substance whenever you were drinking it, and I'm guessing it's alcohol.
Yes, again, it's urine. I was, in fact, in Australia 2 weeks ago. I met this really nice family of people. They taught me about it. We were licking toads. We were eating cough drops. We were talking about my brother. They couldn't believe he was actually in Kangaroo Jack. He was. And I just swear to God, when...
This is really awkward, but your dead brother's actually calling into the show right now. Is it okay if we take it?
Yeah.
Hello?
Vance,
Yeah,
how are you doing?
I'm dead.
I was-
not very well.
I was worried that you didn't believe in Jesus Christ. Did you? Are you in heaven right now?
Yeah, I'm kicking in heaven with E.T.
Cool. How's it going, Vance? How's your leg?
It's good. I mean, it was burned off in the volcano, but back in heaven, you regrow the organs that you lost on Earth.
Vance, I just wanted to tell you I love you so much.
I love you so much.
I regret getting in fights with you back in the day where I would beat on your door and you would scream, "William, quit beating on my door," and I would beat on it and I'd fucking break through and you'd start screaming, "William, get out of my fucking room."
I said, get out of here, Mom. It's just around the corner.
I'm gonna hit you with a fucking belt. I would hit Vance with a belt.
You hit me. You give me black eyes with a belt buckle.
Ghostman.
That's so cool. We lost the connection with your brother, but yeah, that was fun. I mean, I actually was wanting to ask him some questions myself, but it looks like we lost connections. Yeah. So, William, are you dating anybody right now? What's going on in the life of William Montgomery? You seen any
This isn't recorded, does it?
Yeah, it's actually a
So
life.
I'll be quite frank. I've been alone for 10 years. I met some young lady. Today, again, I gotta repeat this. I looked up on the Planned Parenthood website the sort of reliability of the pull-out method. I realized it's 1 in 5. I've been hanging out with a girl. We've been doing acid. We're all dogging it. She believes I don't have an STD. I have HIV. She trusts. But yeah, no, I've been hanging out with a nice young lady. It's been fun. We've had a real good time.
I feel like
She's actually sitting up front right now.
Oh, nice. Thank you for coming.
Do you want to stand up and turn around?
I don't think it's that kind of show.
Oh, okay.
I feel like this podcast right now is it's like a focus group, and we're on the other side of the mirror right now, and we're just trying to figure out whether or not you're crazy or not.
Well, I'll be honest, I think sort of the high point of my life when I was working at the La Quinta in Scottsdale, I was selling Xanax bars at room 217. I was drowning in the pool almost every night. I was having fun. I went down to Mexico at one point. I killed some man with a knife.
Supercuts. Wow, they picked some really odd placements of the ads.
I know.
You know what I mean? But they bought it's a 15-minute show. That's kind of ballsy of them to run some ads on a 15-minute show. You know what I mean? But you gotta make money where you can get it, and all that. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta sell out, and I got a woo from a woman in the audience. You gotta sell out, and I got a woo.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta live in the sewers. I've been living in the sewers for 2 months. I wear this wig down there. I'm regarded as essentially a king.
Well, you look like a king. You look like the king of La Quinta Inn.
The code breaker.
Excuse me, do you have all the sheets that you need in your room? Would you like any extra towels? Well, don't tell me about it. Tell one of my.
Can I give you all my best joke?
I don't think anybody's gonna yell. No! I
You're
don't
just
want to
sitting
laugh
there
right
hard.
now.
I'm fucking thrown off right now. I'm trying to have fun. I'm just looking at blank fucking faces. I'm looking at my girlfriend who I think I impregnated. She didn't want to fucking stand up and turn around. I love those glasses.
Just for you.
Just kidding, that's my aunt. Aunt Mary, so nice to see you. I wore this wig for you tonight. I know how much you like Filipino people. I'm actually from Manila. I don't know if y'all have been there before. It is a very, not arid climate, but humid climate. If you go outside, you start sweating a bunch. I don't know if you were on a 10K, drink water, drink Gatorade. There was you and I maybe 2 weeks ago at the Laser Quest Arena, just running around in the parking lot.
Hey, Mary, come on by, drop my strawberry rhubarb by.
Hey,
Did your Aunt Mary buy ad space on this show?
She did. She works at, weirdly enough, for Fantastic Sims, a competing
Competing with Supercuts.
competing.
Fantastic Sims, come on by if you don't want to be a bitch at Supercuts.
Okay, I didn't approve of that ad message at all. I don't appreciate the sponsors of the show actually slandering each other. Did you have anything to do with that?
I didn't. I mean, I work for Skittles.
Yeah. You have one of these too, William.
How do I work with them? Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Oh, your dead brother's going again.
Yeah. Hey, William. My name is.
Yeah, my name's William.
How's everything been going?
Been killing it. I've got HIV. Not telling people about it, but also, you guys want to hear my best joke?
I think my favorite joke from William was, I like it when my mom goes out of town because I get to sleep on her side of the bed.
That's my favorite joke, yeah.
It's my best joke.
It's my best joke, it is.
It's my best joke.
This is best joke.
It's my best
It's
joke.
my best joke.
It's my best
It's
joke.
my best joke.
It's my best
It's
joke.
definitely my best
It's
joke.
my best
It's
joke.
my best joke.
I love it.
I love it.
It's my best joke.
Yeah, I love it.
Hey, how's it going tonight? I'm sorry. I was in Kangaroo Jack.
Alright, we've covered the Kangaroo Jack many times, William. Okay? We covered it so many times. Now it sounds like that person's like, it's like a chipmunk on acid, just you laughing.
I am so sorry. I was in Jumanji as well. Have you ever heard of Earbud?
Okay, we gotta close out with this last segment of the show, William. It's sax talk.
motherfucker is back there. I see you, scout.
All right, real quick, William. Sax Talk. William is going to share. It's a fan favorite of the show. Basically, the comedians share a story of a sexual encounter, and I play some sweet saxophone underneath to accompany it. Now you're going to start, and I'm going to follow you. And remember, we've already been lit, so we got to wrap this up.
2 nights ago, I met some young lady. She messaged me on Instagram. 2 months ago, I've been alone for 10 years, so I was pretty receptive to the idea of a young lady talking to me. She was like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Yeah, I work at the Applebee's. You want to come up here and come to the bar?" She was like, "Yeah, I'm cool with that. Where should I meet you? Which bar?"
We got about 30 seconds left.
She ends up, y'all, this isn't getting it. We take acid, we have sex. We're watching To Catch a Predator. I'm sick, I have Lyme's disease. I can't think straight. My brain isn't working. I have horrible sunburn on my back. But I go through with them. Her grandparents are in the other room. I hear her grandmother walking on the other side of her door in Reseda. Just being like, "Hold on, be quiet. I hear your grandmother." "Seriously, bitch, be quiet. I hear your grandma." This better not come out. All that's true. This better not.
And so what happened? We got to wrap it up. So what ended? You said you told her to be quiet, and then what happened?
She was quiet. Oh man, I don't really want to get into it. Who the fuck is laughing? Is that Lance? Jeremiah, I just want to apologize. I was so excited wearing this wig tonight. This has been nothing but a horrible nightmare. Everybody's looking at me stone-faced. I was working at the self-storage unit fucking place today, hearing about me getting on this fucking show, super excited. Everybody's staring at me. It seems like things are looking up for me right now. After this, they're not. It really bothered.
Welcome back to Meltdowns with William Montgomery.
I'm sick of it. My brother's dead.
Dead brother, supercuts, HIV, we cover everything.
He was the monkey boy in Jumanji.
Jumanji, we gotta go.
He was the dog in Earbud.
William Montgomery, ladies and gentlemen. You've experienced the first live Jeremiah Watkins at the Pack Theater. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night and the rest of the show, everybody.
Yeah, give it up for Jeremiah Watkins. I stand by my intro, by the way. I'm pretty sure he does have number one copy album or something like that. Has a lot of equipment that he's gonna clear off.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Hello.
are you hooked up, Matt? No,
I don't think so.
Great, I hear you.
I am.
How are you feeling, Matt?
You know, I feel a little bit stupid about the whole rain pop thing. You know, in hindsight, it's very obvious. But I am enjoying the White Claw very much right now. I gotta say, White Claw it's great. It's a great thing.
Yeah, what flavor are you going with?
Flavor?
Yeah.
Huh?
Do you not have a White Claw?
Oh, White Claw. I thought it was a can
No.
Okay, alright. Okay. Well, I'll take it out later. It's pretty deep, so.
Yeah. Let's move on, introduce the next podcast.
Yeah, guys, get excited. Coming up next, we got Sara Weinshenk.
She hosts a podcast. You can see her performing stand-up at the Comedy Store and all around LA, the country. She has a YouTube series called Stone Science. Guys, give it up for Shenk.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you saying these two mics or what's the deal here?
We're prepared, you guys.
Yeah.
This is our brand.
It's very on brand. Thank you guys for coming to support Shenk Live. We brought our backpacks on stage, or at least I did, because I don't know you people. So,
And there's weed in there.
Yeah. We're just gonna have a conversation like how we normally would on Shenk. I'm super excited. Thank you guys again for coming out. Super excited to introduce my guest, Rachel Wolfson.
Hi.
She's another comedian. She also, since the last time you came on Shenk, you started your own podcast.
I did Chronic Relief with Rachel Wolfson, and we talk about comedy, weed, and mental health, heavily on the mental health side. So I talk with comedians mainly and interview them about their experience with mental health.
Yeah, so super excited to have you on. My podcast is mostly about fashion. I talk with comedians about fashion, so this episode we're going to do kind of a hybrid. We're going to talk about fashion for a little bit and then a little bit about mental health. So let's get into it. First of all, earlier tonight, I will say, Wolfie was flossing her tooth with a piece of hair.
Okay, so I rolled a blunt. Fair enough. I rolled a blunt. We were on a show right before this, and I bit off the end of the blunt, and two pieces specifically.
You had blunt in your
It was
teeth.
blunt all over. It was just like all up in my grill, and I had learned. I'm gonna say it's probably from a show on Discovery Channel. Not likely at all, but that if you take a piece of your hair. Maybe it's just my hair. Maybe I have a lot of nutrients. I've been eating kale a lot.
This bitch's hair.
And I got it out.
My hair is brittle as fuck. Okay, I'll say it. I don't care if you guys hear it. I'll fucking say it. My hair, I could never do what you do.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're on a date or about to go in for a job interview, ladies, just do that, or go to probably a family member,
Just
not
kill
a
yourself.
coworker if you're a male. Or just kill yourself.
No, don't kill yourself, because we're gonna get into mental
Well,
health.
today we were talking about bats in the cave.
Bats in the cave?
You
Okay.
guys know.
Boogers in your nose. Major fashion faux pas to be walking around with a bug hanging out.
What do you guys think? Like, if you see a coworker or a friend or a family member, like, if there's a bat in the cave, I'm gonna tell them. I don't want them to go out in the world like, right? Like, because out of selfish reason, you wouldn't want someone to send you out into the world like that, right? So,
Also, like, why would I want to be going around with someone who has a booger?
or something in their teeth. You want to be there for the people there, so they help them help you. That's just what I'm saying.
Because
So
if you show up with a friend that has a booger, then that looks bad on you.
yeah, it's a reflection of yourself. So you're right. It's out here representing both of us.
Yeah, she calls boogers bats in the cave.
It's
which
just
at first-
sexier. It's sexier.
not.
It's sexier. If you're out on the date, here's the thing. If you're out in a new relationship and your new man has a bat in the cave, you can say that to them rather than, hey babe, you got a booger in your nose. You're not gonna fuck that night. That's all I'm saying. So, but you tell them you have a bat in the cave, you guys are definitely getting it on later. So just try it out.
I guess it is a little sexier. It's a little more
Yeah, it's like he's
vampire-ish.
Batman and the bats are in the cave, So
Let's see how many times we can say bats in the cave.
it's
got a bat
better
in the
than
cave.
boogers. It really is.
Boogers is
We
a
said
funny word,
yeah.
though. Like, people don't talk about boogers enough.
Boogers and boners.
Boogers and boners.
I will still giggle at both.
That's
so.
a sick album
You can still say
title.
both at work.
Boogers and boners?
Yeah,
How come you can say that, but you can't say the word cunt?
true.
Why?
Did you know?
Thank you.
That's a good point. I lived in Florida, the state. Not the penitentiary. I lived in Florida back when weed was super illegal, and they would have the tobacco shops, but they had signs, like you literally, it would say, you cannot come in here and say the B word. Like if you said bong there, they would kick you out.
If you said bong?
Yeah, they would kick you out.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
Question, in the 90s, did you wear thongs? Like
Or
those-
flip-flops.
No, like the slutty underwear.
We were on different levels there.
Yeah.
In the 90s?
Yeah.
How old were you in the 90s, Sara Weinshenk?
I was wearing thongs.
Okay, I'm gonna have to have a conversation with your mother.
I was gifted a thong underwear and I was like, I am hot as fuck and I'm wearing this shit.
I
pulled
respect
it
that.
out over my low jeans.
I will say it wasn't the 90s, but it was definitely around early 2001.
You're right.
When, not the thong thing, because my mother, she was a judge. She's a very strict judge from Las Vegas, would never let her Jewish daughter walk out of the house with thong exposed. It just would not happen. I would not be bar mitzvahed in the temple that I was bar mitzvahed in. So, but I will say I discovered low-cut jeans, may they rest in peace for fucking ever.
We're never bringing them back.
I had the bod though. I had the bod when I was 13. I did.
Call it a bod.
It was a bod. It was a bod. I remember it was a bod, and that I was aware it was a bod because my friend's dad would say that I was a tall glass of water. So
That's
drink
so
that.
creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what it
The
was.
low-cut jeans. What are you gonna do?
It's low-cut jeans and thong underwear, and I really think Cisco's the one that put it
Yes,
on the map.
it was.
The first single I ever bought was Cisco's Thong Song. Thank you.
Where did you purchase it?
Warehouse Music.
You should have just stole it off Napster.
I wasn't that cool. And then I went to LimeWire.
Oh, she was one of them.
I went
Wait, do
hard,
you still
bitch.
text in green? Okay.
No, I'm not a
Thank God.
peasant.
You're right.
But I would go hard with LimeWire. I'd make mixtapes.
How many viruses did you have?
So many. So many,
On
dude.
LimeWire, Sarah.
Dude, honestly, my computer straight up had HIV. It just like, turned off one day and never turned back on.
She took herself and her computer to Planned Parenthood. She's like, what do I have? They're like texting in green.
What about Bieber? Did
Oh,
you
like
have
the
one?
device?
Yeah.
Oh man, no. What I did have was a Nokia phone where I played Snake.
Let's give that
Snaps
a
for Snake. Oh yeah.
Snake. Well, okay, but I remember like the bad bitches in 5th and 6th grade. I don't know what they were up to, but their parents, like the products of divorce's parents, they gotta have beepers.
Oh wow, yeah.
Also-
Beepers I just thought were for like doctors and men cheating on their wives.
And drug dealers.
Yeah, true. The 3 best people.
Just
All
beat
people
me.
I All people I would possibly marry.
Just beat me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, what are you finding, like, from talking to comedians about mental health? Like, how has that been? What has the experience been? Has it opened interesting conversations? Is there, like, a through line there? What are you thinking?
Well, I think mental health has always really just been a part of my life and my journey and something we share in common and a passion for, and just kind of like, I think in my 30s, self-care has been something more I've just taken seriously, and like allowing myself to really put my own happiness first. And I think that comedians are so good at opening up and talking about their trauma and just like where they find the funny and the deepest and darkest moments. And I just think that like after, this past year, someone very dear to you and to the comedy community suffered from suicide. And it just was like, now is the time to have these conversations, and what better a medium than using our friends and people in the community who have these really important, relatable stories. So it's been so amazing. Like it's not just me. I learned so much from each episode, and each person I have on, like I just fall in love with them. And I just know that whatever they're going through, there's someone out there who can really relate to it. And the power of podcasting is so cool and such a great way to connect with so many different kinds of people. So
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a great way, to, kind of reduce the stigma behind talking about mental health.
yeah, I think these conversations, like mental health and as well as cannabis, something we both share such a passion
Love
for.
weed, guys.
We love
We
the weed.
love
We
weed.
can't stop.
Thank you.
We don't even know how we got here. So yeah, we definitely power blunted right before we walked in.
We did power blunts
Yeah, power
and
blunts and
jalapeno.
jalapeno Doritos. So that's it. That's if you guys want to know the secret.
That's it.
Yeah. So for me, it's just I think it's more like you got to just create the space to have these moments and have these conversations. And I think that I want to keep creating content that people find relatable when it comes to cannabis and mental health.
I think that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom.
I think you articulated that very well as well.
That's something my dad and mom would say, so thank you.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
To switch gears real quick. How do you feel about Crocs? The shoes.
Oh, Crocs. Okay, truth be told, I never owned a pair.
Well, obviously, but
I mean,
now.
listen, I appreciate people who appreciate Crocs.
Same. And if you can get away rocking a Croc,
yeah, that's
confidence.
That's a terrible pun, but I'm gonna let it live. So
I can't even say that.
Crocs.
No.
I think Crocs are appropriate airport shoe.
Ooh, no.
Crocs with socks.
No.
Socks with Crocs to the airport.
Okay. Socks with Crocs, I can get behind. That's what I'm saying. Give me a cool printed sock with a Croc. I'm on board.
I'm on board with socks with Crocs.
So you're shaking your head because you couldn't pull it off.
Because here's why. Crocs to me, if I wore Crocs, it's social suicide. I'm not gonna get laid that night. But
if you're like Post Malone and you roll in your face is already
Crocs are for
up.
white rappers.
Yes, it's like if you already look like the bathroom stall in a dive bar.
Yes. Yeah.
Then wearing Crocs with socks is a no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure.
Like run towards that.
Yeah.
Right?
I've never dated a guy who wore Crocs, but I did I did date a guy who wore cargo shorts, and I forgave myself for that. So
I'm into that because it's like, hold my shit, bro.
Yeah. Like you could hold a whole notebook, a sandwich, a fucking
my lipstick,
eighth of weed.
My keys.
Your future.
Yeah.
He has so much room in there. I just never, I abandoned the cargo look a while ago for me. And like, honestly, if my current situation brought up, I would have to shut that down.
As a woman in a relationship, sometimes you gotta shut shit down.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what
when
I mean?
it comes to outfits.
When it comes to outfits, sometimes you gotta be like, babe.
Because it's true. No. He's out here representing both of you.
And you're out there representing both of you too.
Exactly.
You know, but also like if a guy told me what to wear, I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
It's not about him telling you what to wear. It's about you. It's about you guys thinking it's your guys' each other's ideas, right?
You gotta. No, you're so right.
It's like you don't tell him what to wear, but you maybe bring home a shirt you'd like him to wear,
and then let him find it.
And then you burn whatever you don't, and that's how you do it. Right?
Yeah. Like you leave like hints along the way. You're like, babe, the V-neck look is out, but like, do what you want.
Yeah, do what you want. Yeah.
You're your own man. Hate would not like to tell you what to do.
Or you could be like, your mother would really like to see you in that shirt, and then it's the shirt that you got him.
Dude, there's nothing worse though than opening up like an item of clothing that you hate. Have you had that experience from like either a family member,
My mom likes to purchase an item of clothing, but then in every single color. So, and I get that, but like I don't need it in canary yellow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My mom used to do that too.
Did you go through the polo shirt phase?
Oh my god, I was just gonna say that because my mom ruined my life in 5th grade. Okay, let me tell you why I'm a comedian. Because my mom, all I wanted to do was wear slutty crop tops like this bitch Ashley Allen Lee, who was so cool, who her parents let her do whatever she wanted, and she was the shit, and she looked cool all the time, and all I wanted to do was dress like that. And my mom went to the Gap Kids and bought me 5 different polo shirts in different colors, and I've never forgiven her. But Sarah, problems, but still problems nonetheless.
But Sarah, you went to college and you're happy, so.
Define happy, let's get into mental health again.
You went to college and you don't have any tattoos that are permanent yet. So.
I do, I have 2, you just can't see them.
Ah, fuck. Okay, well, Ashley Allen is definitely doing better than you right now. And she's wearing slutty crop tops.
Ugh. She also could sing.
But probably not. She probably ended up 16 and pregnant.
You know those people who could always sit, like, who you look at in middle school and you're like, damn, you're cool as fuck. Then later on, you're like, oh, karma.
Yeah, I met that girl. I met that girl this past weekend at my comedy show. She's trying to do comedy, and I called her out from the crowd. She's part of the cool girls in high school, and I saw her, and she saw me, and I was like, oh shit, you used to bully me in high school, but here I am on stage, and I'm looking down at you, and you're looking up at me. And she was like, oh yeah, I ended up getting pregnant my junior year. And I was like, oh, okay, things seem to be doing well for you. But then I found out she has 500,000 followers on Instagram, so, and a successful podcast.
Wait,
so
I'm
fuck
sorry.
that.
I'm sorry. How do you get pregnant junior year but then have that many followers? I mean, she's really made up for
No,
a
she
lost
made a brand
time.
out of it, and that's all I'm saying is find your
Oh.
brand and let it kill you.
I mean, I think that's such a good way to end the episode. Like, find your brand and let it kill you. Please, guys, make sure. Thank you, Rachel, for coming on.
Thank you
Wolfie.
for having me.
This is so much fun. Thank you guys for coming out.
You guys are awesome.
Please make sure. Thank you. Follow us on social media. What's your handle?
At Wolfie Comedy.
Check out her podcast, Chronic Relief. Subscribe, rate, and review. Check out Shenk, Shenk, iTunes, Spotify, Laughable. Leave a review. And if you have fashion questions, you can always email them to shenk.pod@gmail.com. And thank you guys. Thanks so much.
Anyone need a white claw? We have two. Raise your hand. Alright. Give it up for Shenk.
Give it up for Shenk.
Alright.
So we were gonna do another dumb like stuff in my butt bit, but we should just keep it moving.
Yeah, let's just keep it moving.
I was gonna say, yes, it's cool how they created space to talk about mental health and everything.
Right.
And that we created space, for
To talk about
bring but we should just get on to the last podcast. It's hosted by Daniel Zafran and Greg Gonzalez. They do it monthly. They go deep into different topics about LA history. So they're going to be bringing you 15 minutes tonight. It's LA Meekly!
Hi, everybody. Did anyone do the ring pop in the butt joke yet? Can I sit down or not? You can, but I'm going to stand. So we're LA Meekly. We do, first of all, we wear the same shirts. Hi. At all times.
Guess who took a screen printing class?
Yeah. 3 of these shirts exist, and they're all in this room right now. So you can buy them off our backs. We'll sign them afterwards. It'll be great. So what we do, we're an LA history podcast. We go into, LA history.
We take broad topics and we go very specific. So we talk about hot dogs, and we'll break down hot dogs as much as we can.
Yeah, we do that. We've been doing this a while, but we're familiar. We wanted to cover something tonight, but we thought maybe people might need a little bit of a primer to get us going.
Right.
So
okay.
prepare to hear us read off of paper for 15 minutes.
Okay, so our story starts in the 1850s, and I know not a lot of people here are familiar with the history of the city. So just to give context for the story we're going to tell, I just want to give a very brief kind of summation of the history of the city. So we'll start here, Pangea, right? All continents are formed as a supercontinent. Even Australia showed up. And then about 200 million years ago, obviously they break up. And even though they say it's not your fault, what they yelled about the most was you. So just keep that in mind. North America gets custody of California. And then after that comes the critters. Now, LA has a lot of different animals that were roaming this area. We had, woolly mammoths. We had saber-toothed cats. We had old weird horses that looked like bad drawings. We had like dire wolves straight out of Game of Thrones. We had like, we had like bisons and short-faced bears and like fire sprinklers. One of those is made up. You gotta guess which one it is. They would hang around like the Fairfax district, and we know that because they're currently trapped in the tar pits, still wearing shoes from Supreme. If that's what Supreme sells, I don't really know.
I told you that joke was going to work. You didn't believe me. I know Supreme. I know cool things.
I know where people wait in line.
If you're waiting in a line for it, it must be cool.
So after that, the humans show up. The main Native American tribe in our area was the Kizh, K-I-Z-H. and they're out here doing their thing for a long time. You know, they were a peaceful tribe because everything was kind of abundant around here. And then one year, after years and years of doing their thing, they spot something weird, and that something weird is white folks wearing necklaces with gold T's on them because they worship Mr. T. It was the Spanish. The Spanish were done ruining the rest of America, you know, the Americas. So they came up to California for a little R&R, which stands for ruining and fucking ruining, laying it in. So they go up to the Keech people and they're like, you know, hey, you should try this whole Catholic thing out, you know? We've got this God guy, he's a pretty cool customer. They're like, actually, we have our own God, we don't really need yours. And I'm like, we weren't really asking. The Spanish
We didn't do it. You don't have to be offended.
So the Spanish established missions all across California. We have two in our area. We have Mission San Fernando in North Hills and Mission San Gabriel in Alhambra. And they're still up. You can walk around there now. And you'll be walking around and you're thinking like, wow, this is beautiful. Is it a church? Is it a prison? Guys, it's both. The Native Americans were integrated into the mission system willingly, all right, and without punishment. But luckily for everyone, except for the Spanish, the Mexicans came and they defeated the Spanish and took control of California. Thank you very much.
You might want to stop listening there because it's not going to end well for them.
They came and they dismantled the entire mission system so they could get some of that sweet mission property. And then they let all the Keech people go so they can have somebody to work on that sweet property for no money. But, you know, California's a really long state to keep an eye on. And the Americans were kind of getting lusty for it because we had, like, gold beaches or whatever. So, they were coming for it. And then up north, they started the Bear Flag Revolt. And them and the Americans, they went to war with the Mexicans. And they went to war in, like, Burbank and, like, the Cahuenga Pass and just, like, Fort Moore Hill in downtown. And in 1848, the Americans took control of California from Governor Pio Pico, and that brings us to what we're going to be talking about today.
Alcohol.
Yeah. I've been
root
waiting
of
for my
all
cue.
Evil. My evil co-host. Listen, ye sinners, to the tale of the first places in LA that peddled that complimentary White Claw beverage you've been drinking all night, and the curse that came along with them, a curse even worse than cirrhosis of the liver. And then understand that I thought White Claw was beer, and then by the time I found out it was hard seltzer, it was too late to research a new topic, so just this whole premise is flawed.
Find out.
Where does that come from?
It was right here. It's open. I don't know who drank it.
Good idea. Real good idea. Drink an open beverage in a black box theater. Why not? The first brewery in LA opened at 3rd and Main downtown in 1854 and was given the local prideful name, the New York Brewery. Why wouldn't they? There was also another place a few years later that people credit with having the city's first dedicated brewer, which was a guy named Jacob Philippi, and this place was given what was apparently the only name you could give a brewery in Los Angeles, the New York Brewery.
The Anywhere Else Brewery.
Yeah. Definitely not from here beer. This one was located on top of Fort Moore Hill, which is a hill that is no longer there, but you might recognize it now as that Civil War looking piece of wall that you speed past when you're desperately looking for a freeway on-ramp near Chinatown. We all know that, right?
The water's back on.
Yeah. This area is rumored to be sitting on top Fort Moore Hill. Apparently, it's on top of a trove of gold left over by an ancient society of lizard people. Yeah.
Lizard people out here?
Audience,
Lizard people?
we see you. But instead, we chose to do our time up here on the history of beer, not lizard people. Get out. Now, a few years after this, imagine, if you will, Los Angeles post-Civil War. The conflict had barely touched any of the city. No devastation. The city looked exactly as it did before the war started. How would we ever rebuild? Enter the brewery that really started the beer industry in LA. It opened 1874, and of all places, a former winery, the New York City Winery. Wine was the first form of alcohol to come to LA, which was brought by those missionaries for Jesus blood purposes or whatever they do. Padre needs his bottle, etc., etc. But then, for the first time in recorded history, the French came to the rescue with a man named Jean-Louis Vigne from the Cadillac of France, Cadillac, France.
I bet it's pronounced different.
No, it's
like two vowels.
It's pronounced Ford, France. He saw that the climate in California was similar to the best parts of France, so he saw the potential that the state had to someday rival France in the quality of wine production. He was so sure of this, he even went so far as to write the screenplay to Sideways. So he started a vineyard of his own, making this the first large-scale, non-religious winery in California. It was near what is now Union Station at Alameda, just south of Aliso, which is now named Aliso because of a tree. A certain tree. This tree had been growing in that area for over 100 years, and it was a sacred spot for the Keats tribe. The Spanish word for this type of tree is aliso, which is why Vigne named his new winery El Aliso, and why he himself came to be known around town as Don Luis del Aliso, which I keep reading as Don Luiso del Aliso. He should have marketed that.
Hey, you're named after that tree.
Yeah. Don Tree of Tree. He respected this tree, so his winery was built around it. He didn't harm the tree. And his wine was good. It was so good it was served at any big peace treaty, diplomatic, live podcast recording, whatever you have. El Aliso, it became the biggest winery in the world, putting out 150,000 bottles a year, which is... That's like crazy. Today, that's like one shopping trip to Costco. I don't know how the world worked back then. Eventually, his nephews took over, and they decided, wine's for snobs. We're going to hedge all our bets on making rock and roll wine, a.k.a. champagne. That's what they call it.
Nobody calls it that.
I call it that. What they didn't realize was how hot LA got in the summer, and that LA isn't known for having a lot of cool, damp caves to store things in. So once a big heat wave hit, all the champagne bottles exploded in their whole winery and threw them into financial ruin and forced them to sell to the place I was leading up to, the first big brewery of Los Angeles, which was given another local prideful name, the Philadelphia Brewing Company. They can't get it. This was a
Where
time,
are we?
Was it called Los Angeles then? This was a time when a lot of German immigrants were moving into the United States, which I'm told is part of Los Angeles, or vice versa. You get what I'm saying. I've had a lot of hard seltzers. And they started bringing with them a higher demand for cold malted beer, which started to take the place of America's previous alcohol of choice, delicious, refreshing White Claw hard seltzer. We got paid $50 to say that. So things started to take off in 1882 when the Philadelphia Brewing Company was bought by two Bavarian immigrants named Joseph Meyer and George Zabelin. They met working blue-collar jobs at one of those New York breweries. They went on to inspire the TV show Laverne and Shirley, little-known fact. But then in a classic Schlemiel Schlemazel scheme, the two got it in their heads, they can run a brewery themselves. So they bought the brewery, renamed it Meyer and Zabelin. So it wasn't that crazy that these Germans would buy an entire brewing factory, because there was, around this time, there was Adolphus Busch, there's Frederick Miller. They were doing the same thing. Why not?
Why not?
I'm asking you.
Oh, why not?
That's the classic banter that we're known for.
I'll just repeat it.
I ask a question and he repeats the question. So they grew this factory into a success, and the compound itself grew, which is why when the 101 was eventually built, it had to be curved around this factory, which is why in that area it's still kind of curved downtown instead of going straight through.
Okay. I'm going to pretend I know the curve.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
curve.
You know the curve. We all know the curve. But even as it grew, they always protected this aliso tree. That was sacred to them also. It was over 400 years old at this point. But then in 1892, it learned the hard way to never cross a German. When one of its branches fell and crushed an entire beer wagon. So Meyer, with Zabelin, begging him not to do this, he cut down the tree branch by branch while they watched, crying.
I've never been that mad at a tree before.
Yeah. Don't be mad at the tree. You're taking the wrong side of history. I told you never to side with the Germans, and you did it in front of a crowd of people. That's for private recordings. But remember, this tree had been very special, like I said, to the native tribes, which is why from then on, Meyer's life obviously was cursed forever. Not long after this tree was cut down, a vat exploded in his factory and it left him horrifically burned. So now he's burned. Don't cut down trees. Then in 1897, his teenage daughter died, which is horrible. Then Meyer himself was struck with a serious heart disease.
Dart disease. Yeah, dart disease.
Oh, it's
He's
terrible.
put the darts. Yeah.
He had to be, that's the banter, we know. I say one word wrong and he says it. He had to be confined to his house for 2 years with this heart disease before he finally died. Zobelin, meanwhile, he was fine. He's doing great. He told him not to do it. No curse there. But the curse wanted the company. It got Meyer and his family. Now it wants the company. When Meyer died, control of this brewery went to his son Freddie, which Zobelin did not like, now having to work for this twerp son of his supposed partner. So he sued the company for control, and after a year, he got it. Now, you wouldn't think a year-long lawsuit for control of a company would create an undesirable work environment, but we went through that once when you tried to wrestle control the podcast.
That's right. I tried to turn it into lore. That's
Yeah.
another podcast, right? We listen to another podcast here? I'm confused.
They were here earlier, I think. So the Meyer sons, they bought Zobelin out of the company. Just get rid of this guy. And he went on, Zobelin he made the East Side Brewery, which is a pretty famous thing.
Yeah.
They were mostly known for being very popular with their workers because they give them a 7-minute break every hour to drink as much free beer as they could.
We won't pay you, but...
And have just drink as much as you can and then ignore the safety standards. Just go making more beer.
Put your hands wherever.
Years later, this place actually got bought by Pabst, and they were the sort of local brewing company for the site for Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting.
It is exciting.
Banter. Once Zobelin left, the company was renamed Meyer Brewery, so they took the name. But in 1910, Freddie Meyer died, and control of the company went to his brother, Eddie Meyer, who kept the company going strong, and then Prohibition hit. Now, I'm not saying that Prohibition was caused by a Native American curse over a tree in downtown Los Angeles, but you can't argue with loosely researched facts. You just can't. He managed to keep it going during Prohibition, like many breweries did, making not hard drinks like delicious, refreshing White Claw brand hard cider.
Refer to the can.
Hard seltzer, but soft, talk to the can. But soft drink, they're making soft drinks and near beer, which was beer that was under the 0.5 alcohol content limit. All the same, federal agents raided the brewery and found that they had been brewing beer so near to beer that it was beer, which is illegal. And he swore he wasn't aware of this, but 2 employees were arrested and the federal government took control of the company for the next 7 years. But now the curse wanted... They ruined the business. I want the rest of the family line. It wanted to finish them off. 1933, this guy's wife died in a car crash. Then 1943, it finally cleaned house and Eddie himself died alone in a fire in his home.
But he cut his branches off.
Yeah, one by one. But here's the big question. If they had never cut down that tree and Meyer hadn't died, and the 2 of them had remained good friends, would Meyer and Zobelin have become as big a name as Anheuser-Busch were it not for the curse? And we don't know, but we do know this. The only way to get rid of a curse, like the one we got reading about all this, is to tell it to a bunch of people at the Pack Theater about it. So good luck driving home, everybody. Have fun. That's us. We're done. Thank you.
That was LA Meekly. And we're out of time. We do this every month, though. Thank you for coming. Every third Friday, 9 p.m. Right, Matt?
Yeah. And you can follow us on Instagram at Podcast Party Official. We just have our last segment of the night, right?
Yeah. And that's,
to get the fuck out.
Yeah, everyone get out of here.
Thank you for coming.
If you want it. Try it and pop in your butt. It's the right shape. Gonzalez.
Podcast party. Oh, wow. Okay. A little 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 podcast party.
Oh, that's not easy. Oh, that's not easy. Oh, that's not easy. Oh, that's not easy.
A little podcast.